Hey there, Eric with you. Thanks so much for joining me. I just wanted to speak to you today regarding nutrients versus calories. And to prepare for a lot of these videos, I like to just see what people are talking about. So I'll kind of browse around on social media, see what's popular in terms of children's health, in terms of children's nutrition. And I see frequently that a lot of parents speak about how many calories their child is eating or how many calories they're not eating. And they're using calories pretty much as the sole basis of how nutritious they are eating. And I wanted to address that because I think that's a big myth that, again, is still very popular out there. And so I just wrote down a couple things here. Right here, I have 500 calories. And I think this will make it very evident from this alone. But let's say you have two kids, one on the left, one on the right. They're both going to eat 500 calories, but the child on the left is going to eat 500 calories worth of chocolate cake, and the child on the right is going to eat 500 calories of vegetables. So I think from that alone, you can kind of see that it's simply not calories, especially if we're talking nutrition here. I mean, with the chocolate cake, just the amount of sugar that would be in that 500 calorie piece of chocolate cake would shoot this child's glucose level up. The sugar in the cake would be broken down into glucose, and that would spike because there's so much of it. And then this child's body would also secrete insulin, which is a fat storage hormone. So there'd be fat storing going on. When there's insulin present, you cannot lose weight either. It is very hard for your metabolism to increase when there's a lot of insulin in the area. So just from the sugar alone, there would be a huge hormonal difference that would have a significant effect on their weight, not even mentioning nutrition again. And of course, the child on the right who ate the plate 500 calories of vegetable is going to have a minimal amount of sugar compared to what the chocolate cake is. So you're not going to have that hormonal spike of glucose and insulin, and that sets off a cascade of other hormones too. The child on the left with the cake will be hungry likely very soon afterwards, because once the glucose and insulin spike, it falls dramatically also. And when it falls abruptly like that, kids will get hungry again. So it's an endless cycle. They eat sugar, they get the spikes, they get the drop, they eat again, and that just a continual loop there. While the child on the right who eats the vegetables will not have those fluctuations in glucose and insulin, and thereby they will be satiated. They will stay fuller for longer periods of time. So that's, I mean, again, and that's just looking at one part of this. You can also just, from a nutritional perspective, I mean, I don't know what you could say nutritionally about a chocolate cake, if you could say anything, but of course with the vegetables, you're going to get so many benefits in terms of the vitamins and the fiber that is just loaded in vegetables. And of course, if you're looking just at calories again, and you're just eating food with very little nutritional value, that is going to, again, over time, it's going to cause more and more fat storage. It's going to start to do damage to organs, to the kidneys. It can lead a child into obesity, into diabetes, which again will just make the problem more and more difficult. And the child on the right again with the vegetables is just going to be so much more nutritionally based with this type of food. So I think you can see that it's just not a matter of how many calories your child is eating or not eating, but it also is the nutrients, and a matter of fact also that most of the food choices, if it is a processed food, if it is a food high in sugar, those foods tend to be have more calories anyhow to begin with. So it works out that way naturally. If you're going to eat a lot of foods that are not do not contain a lot of nutrients, they are in fact going to have more calories anyhow. So just again, looking at that alone, you can see that the calories in, calories out never really pans out. It never works. We have to look at nutrient dense whole foods for children that will be lower calorically, hormonally, and in terms of their metabolism, it will have such a greater benefit. And in terms of long term too, in terms of their organs, and the preservation and the long-term quality that we want for our children. There's really no comparison between trying to compare calories, counting calories, instead of really focusing on whole foods that have so many more nutrients in them. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see that. I think it's again very evident if you just look at 500 calories of chocolate cake to 500 calories of vegetables. If you could please pass this on to as many parents as you can, I'd really appreciate it. Just really trying to get the word out and help kids in terms of their nutrition as much as I can. If you can like this video also, we'll just get it out to more and more people. And if you like my content, you can please subscribe, and I'm going to be making a lot more videos. All right, thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.